Hi and good morning everyone. Welcome to our lesson for today. So it's all about the personality and or the professional and ethics in tourism and hospitality subject. This one includes the factors affecting the development of personality. So if you're talking about this, we are talking about the physical characteristic of a person. Okay, so yung itsura ng isang tao. So how does it affect the personality? Heredity, kung ito ba ay kanyang namana. So nadala niya ba ito sa kanyang paglaki? For example, in developing his professional studies and professional development. The other one is how the brain works. Kung paano ito nagiging nakaka-apekto, okay, sa ating personalidad. And the other one is what we call the religion. At the same time, the culture of a person, how this affect the personality. Another, and I think one of the most important thing as well is what we call the social experiences. So if these experiences actually nurtures to the development of the personality of a person. Ayan. So, ito yung mga topic natin for today. To start with, okay, we have what we call lesson objectives. At the end of this chapter, the student should, of course, you should enumerate or differentiate the expectations in the various sectors and stakeholders in the tourism industry. Not only tourism but also in hospitality industry. Kasi ito yung subject natin. It's more about professionalism, professionality, and personality, professionalism, and ethics in tourism and hospitality industry. Another objective is to realize and identify the challenges encountered. Ito yung mga na-encounter ng mga tao when it comes to seeking employment in the hospitality industry and tourism industry. Next is what we call articulate the essence of a table of organization, and also to create a personal vision statement articulating a specific career goal and aspirations. So if we are going to deal with this one, so I hope at the end of the subject, at the end of this discussion, we will create a vision about how the personality of a person affects, okay, your work sa present natin, if you are presently or currently working, or in the future. Ayan. Stakeholders in the tourism industry together with the hospitality industry. So, isipin muna natin, no? So, what is the definition of a stakeholder? Pag sinabi natin a stakeholder is an individual or a group or organization influenced by or influences the organization's actions. So, meron silang interest sa isang organisasyon, hindi lang sa kanilang core o inside, kundi pati na rin sa kanilang mga performances inside and outside of the organization. So, sino-sino ba ang tinatawag na stakeholder? Okay? And these stakeholders can be a business sector. Okay? Yung mga negosyante. The labor sector, mga manggagawa natin. The market segments. The government and regulators. Okay? Isa sa mga importante ang gobyerno ito. No? So, sila yung mga nagre-regulate ng mga tao, ng mga businessmen at ng mga kailangan ng tao sa isang community. Another one is the academe. Academe is one example of a stakeholder. Okay? Another is what we call intermediaries and consolidators. The suppliers and the service providers. So, the media, and the advocacy groups. So these stakeholders in the tourism and hospitality industry is actually important for them, not only for the business to survive, but also for the labor forces or in the community or the whole country or the economic growth. Okay, so eto po yun. Next, employment prospects for new graduates. So, kung pag-uusapan natin ang employment prospects for the new graduates, so ito po yun. Bago ka magtrabaho, for example, if you are in a college students, dumadaan tayo sa tinatawag na practicum training. And this practicum training course applied by the students, performed by the student in a specific establishment. So, ang tawag sa kanila ay mga apprentice or intern. Sooner or later, you will be our OJTs, so-called on-the-job training. And these trainings or apprenticeship program will last for about 500 to 1,400 an hours. Nako ha? So, itong mga hours na to, the OJT program hours is being acquired by the students para maging competent sila sa isang industriya. And when when you, as a student that goes to a particular industry, nakakakuha ka ng magaganda at masasamang idea, inside that establishment. And we have to accept the fact na meron nun. Hindi lang lahat maganda. Meron din masama. But it's up to students on how he is or she is going to transform those learnings para sa kanyang career. So, tandaan natin, So, lahat ng tao ay dumadaan dito. So, most of the departments in the organization where he or she is immersed in rank and file task. Kasi, kailangan niyang pagdaanan ito. Okay? So, aside from that, this opportunity is a good way to get employed regularly. Siyempre, kapag pumasok ka nga naman sa OJT mo, sa internship mo, sa training mo, at nagustuhan ka ng employer mo, nagustuhan ka ng company, and that's the time na pwede ka nilang kunin. Today, hence, the senior students on their apprenticeships or internship programs are encouraged to do well during the training period. So, kailangan mong galingan. Bakit mo kailangan galingan? Kasi, ito na yung pinasok mo eh. This is the real story. This is the real life environment. Okay? So, experience by learning. So, ito na yon. Kailangan mo ay pagbutihin kung ano ang ginagawa mo sa OJT mo because you're actually getting there to be employed. Kaya nga sabi natin, diba? Employment prospects for new graduates. Okay? Typical organizational structure. Okay. When we say typical organizational structure, working in different sectors can strongly affect your personality and might experience different workplace environment. So, ano ba ang ibig sabihin nito? The sectors in tourism and hospitality industry has this one. So, meron tayong restaurant, meron tayong hotel, bed and breakfast, souvenir shop, bar, museum, event organizer, travel agency, and so on and so forth. So, we have. So, if we are talking about the pillars of tourism industry, so, eto yan. So, pasok tayo dito. At marami tayong trabaho. Marami tayong, as a student of tourism and hospitality, so marami tayong magiging trabaho. Okay? And ang isa sa pinakamahalaga is this one, the attitude of the person, the behavior of the person. So, ito rin yung mga employer prospect, no? So, if you are doing an OJT on this kind of organization structure, or this kind of structure, so dapat alam mo at sinasanay ka para doon. So, sa school pa lang, sinasanay ka na ng mga theory and practices. So, pagdating mo ng OJT, so, eto na yon. So, kailangan mo lang is galingan. Top 10 expectations of employers. Ano-ano ba to? Number 1, new hires are expected to possess basic competencies in jobs they applied for. So, syempre, di ba? So, kailangan mo ipakita na magaling ka. Kailangan mo na ipakita na alam mo yung gagawin mo. And that's why, ito yung isa sa kahalagahan ng OJT, on-the-job training, or apprenticeship, or trainee. Okay? Number 2, new employees are expected to get along well with fellow employees. Why? Because harmony is still the best inside the organization, inside the company. So, hinahanap natin yung teamwork in workplace. Okay? Inaasahan ng bawat isa ang cooperation, okay, ng bawat empleyado, ang cooperation ng bawat isa sa isang proyekto. So, if you are new in the company, okay, this is expected of you. Expected of you to know the basic competencies, kung ano yung trabaho, and expected of you to cooperate and to get along with others. Why? Because if we are going to deal with this one, we are going to talk about office politics. No, ha? Bakit may tinatawag na office politics? Why? Pagpasok mo sa isang trabaho, hindi ka naman agad ma-accept. Ma-accept ng ma-accept ng community, ma-accept ng team mo. Okay? There is what we call a complex struggle for dominance inside the organization. Naku ha? So, merong mga backstabber dyan. So, kung makikita nyo sa picture, okay? Pagpasok mo sa isang opisina, pagpasok mo sa isang trabaho, akala mo they are what? They are good onto you, pero hindi naman pala. Naku ha? Why? Because it's already expected na what? Expected that you will be joining with them with full arms, okay? And with the full team. So, another politics is when workers actively seek ways to make their abilities and achievements known. Naku ha? So, meron tinatawag na nagsisik din sila, no? Nagsisik sila ng abilities mo, ng achievements mo. So, anong mangyayari kung hindi nila napapatunayan? Sinabi mo magaling ka sa isang ganito, pero hindi naman pala. Okay? So, that's how conflicts are being defined. At lumalabas yung mga conflicts na yon. Another is what we call ruthless manipulation. Ruthless manipulation by means of what? Other people. Why? Because they want to attain or gain power. So, kapag nakita nilang magaling ka, maaaring siraan ka nila just to get the position. So, nangyayari to sa totoong buhay, no? So, agawan ng position. Magaling ka, pinapakita mo na magaling ka, then, sooner or later, okay, yung ibang mga kasama mo sa organization ay hihilahin ka niyang pababa because they want also the position. Nakuha po? Benefits of office politics. So, kung meron tayong office, meron tayong downside or negative effect of office politics, meron din tayong benefits of office politics. Ano yan? Namomotivate natin yung employees. Okay? Nagiging productive yung employees. Nagkakaroon ng what? increase in recognition ng employee at ibinuboost natin yung moral ng employees. And these are the benefits of office politics. Why? Happy work environment is important in every place. Kaya nga tayo nagpupunta sa isang place. Kaya natin gustong magtrabaho. Meron tayong mga classification. 1, gusto natin yung katrabaho natin. 2, gusto natin yung place na pinagtatrabahuhan natin. Okay? And the environment actually affects the politics inside the company that you are working for. Another, if we are going to talk about office politics, is what we call detriments. Okay? Ano yung detriments? It initiate ruthless, nagkakaroon ng unwarranted power, struggle, hypocrisy, secrecy, and self-interest. May mga marites din. It produces ineffective teamwork among staff members. Why? Nagkakaroon ng selosan. Okay? So, parang klase din, May marites, may selos, may siraan. Okay? So, whoever yung matalino. So, syempre, hindi naman matalino yan. Kunyari lang yan. Nakuha po. Sa office, okay, sa trabaho, so meron din ganun. Next, how to avoid office politics. So, paano? So, kung meron tayong mga negative, okay, meron tayong mga negative, meron din tayong mga positive. Siyempre, alam din natin paano mag-avoid ng office politics. So, paano nga ba? Ina-avoid yung politics sa office politics? Forget the empire. So, you don't need the empire. Don't gossip. Wag kang maging marites. Focus on your work and issue at hand and apologize later. So any mistakes that you will do inside your organizations, you have to apologize. Okay? You are being praised because you are good at. Okay? O may ginawa kang maganda. But kapag nakagawa ka din ng mali, you should apologize because that is how ethics works inside the office, how ethics works inside the organization. So, wag masyadong maging marites. Okay? Next, how to avoid as well is be transparent. Be transparent, all in. Wear no mask. Wag kang maging double face, wag kang maging poker face. Flex and blend, meaning you join your company. You join your teams. You join your staff. Listen. Ito yung isa sa pinakamahalaga. And of course, park your ego. It doesn't mean you are good in many ways. You are good at all time. Nakuha? So it doesn't mean you are a boss. You are a boss forever. You are a leader. You are a leader forever. But you have also need to park your ego. Kailangan mo ding maging mababa. Kailangan mo ding sumama sa mga staff mo. Kailangan mo ding makibagay. Number 3. New employees, okay, top 10 expectation. New employees are expected to contribute towards the achievement of the business. Sino bang ayaw ng kumpanya na yung empleyado niya ay mag-contribute? So, kailangan mag-contribute ka. As a new employee, you are encouraged to do that. You are expected to do that. New employees should, number 4, should quickly master the basic. Why? Kasi nga, pinanggalingan mo na sa OJT mo yan. Pinanggalingan mo na sa training mo yan. You should know already the basic. Kailangan makakapag-blend ka kaagad. Number 5, loyalty. Loyalty to the company that you are into, because brand is actually critical and expected to employees. Okay? Number 6, during the recruitment and selection process, it is important to have a good matching process. Why? Tinitingnan ang values ng applicant. values, behavior, attitude that goes along with the values of the company. So, tandaan natin ang bawat empleyado ay merong loyalty dyan. And when we are speaking and when we are talking about loyalty, we are talking about a lot of things. Naku merong mga marites, merong mga magsasabi na, uy, ganito si ganyan, ganito si ganon. Okay? And doon na pumapasok yung whistleblowing. Ano yung whistleblower? Kala mo sa mga ano lang to, sa mga hearing. No, it's not. Whistleblower is an employee, a former employee, and a member of organization. Okay? So, ano yung ginagawa niya? It actually report all the misconduct. Okay? Misconduct na ginawa ng isang empleyado. Why? A misconduct is actually a violation of law, rule, regulation na nakakaapekto sa isang kumpanya. So, for example, merong isang empleyado na nagnanakaw, nasa bar ka, nagnanakaw ng alak, nag-uuwi ng ganito, nag-uuwi ng mga materials, ng jigger, for example. Okay? And you are concerned about the company. Okay? Pag sinabing loyalty ang pinag-uusapan, of course, parang sa'yo na yan So, naapektuhan ka kung merong masamang nangyayari sa isang kumpanya or sa isang establishment na nandoon ka. Okay? Number 7. All new employees are expected to be obedient and compliant. So, lagi naman ganun, no? So, meron sariling rules, meron sariling procedure, meron sariling policies and standards ang isang kumpanya. And as a new employee, you are going to follow that one. And importante din yung number 8. Number 8 means you have to learn fast. Why? Because you need to embrace the culture of the company. So if you are not onto the culture of the company, meaning you do not belong to that company, so hindi ka tatagal doon. You have to embrace the culture of the company so that you will be aligned with the policies, the vision, the mission, and the objectives, and the regulations of the company. Number 9, important then. Employees are expected to demonstrate the ability to adapt changes, trends, and developments. It doesn't mean nakapako yung kumpanya sa ganitong trends. You will be forever to be on that one. No, you are expected also to demonstrate na nag-a-adapt ka sa mga changes na yan. And of course, number 10, it is expected that younger employees should be able to level up quickly. So yun yung mga inaasahan ng kumpanya, no? So kailangan ay mag-level up ka. Kailangan ay maging aware ka na as a new employee, you should be able to, okay, you should be able to adapt to that changes. So that's it, So this is the top 10 expectations of employers to new employees. So kung makikita natin at kung babalikan natin, and to sum it up, okay, so tingnan natin to, kung babalikan natin yung the what happened in COVID-19 pandemic, yung height of protocols, ito yung team of frontliners. One example is from Seda Hotel. Okay, so makikita natin na how committed the hospitality and tourism industry is for the health and safety protocols during the COVID time. So kung babalikan natin ang mga pinag-usapan natin kanina, for example, balikan natin yung how does the personality affects, okay, is this one, yung physical characteristic natin, religion, culture, social experiences, and the brain and the heredity. It actually helps the person to develop the what we call personality, especially if you are now in the industry itself. So may kinalaman talaga ang physical characteristic, may kinalaman talaga yung social experiences na nangyayari sa atin. What happened in COVID-19, for example, nabuo natin yung kultura na yun, the religion aspect as well, and the how the brain works with our personality. And when we say kung paano talaga na-develop yon is the same as with this one. So tingnan natin. If we talk about company rules, procedure, and policies and standards, okay, nagkakaroon sometimes we cross the lines, ano? Sometimes yung bawat empleyado ay nagkakagustuhan sa isa't isa, okay? Nagkakaroon ng affair sa isa't isa. But how do we maintain the professional distance? Ito ba ay if we cross the line, ito ba ay friendship over na? Okay? O how do we deal with the professionalism when it comes to this one? Nako ha? So, if we have a strong thing, ethics and professionalism inside the organization, okay, makikita natin kung paano natin pagpahalagahan ang isang core natin. Nako ha, yung organization natin mismo. For example, I'll give you an example sa college natin. Sa college natin kami, mga professor, mga instructor, mga chefs, ay magkakaibigan, magkakaklase. Okay? We treat each one as a family. But when we work, okay, with the college, when we work within the school premise, we are talking about work and we set aside those things. We set aside the feelings, we set aside the connections. What we deal is, this is how we work. This is the professional thing na nangyayari. At the back office, at the back of the thing, okay, for example, ang nakikita nyo, mga estudyante, is ang ayos-ayos na mga professors, magkakasundo sila. But deep inside, okay, meron din kaming mga, disagreements. Meron din kaming mga differences. And we are doing that professionally. Okay? Why? Because we have common goal, we have common objectives, we have rules, and we have policies. And we are dealing with that professionally. Kasi at the end of the day, the stakeholders, which are the students, are the main priority. And we are actually committed to deal with it one. Okay? So, lagi natin tatandaan na we have a strong connection with others as an employee. Okay? But we also care with one another. Ayan. So, wag nating hayaan na dahil meron tayong dispute sa isa't isa, okay, hindi tayo nagkakaunawaan at tayo ay magkatrabaho, hindi na tayo magpaplastika na tayo sa loob ng opisina o sa loob ng kumpanya. But, we work as one. So, iset aside natin yung differences na yon because we are working with one company rule, with one procedure, with one policy, and with one standard. Okay. Lagi natin tandaan ito, no? Employment is such a tricky matching process. So, wala tayong guarantee kung ikaw ay mag-a-apply sa isang company, kung ikaw ba ay matatanggap or hindi matatanggap, or mababa yung position mo o mataas yung position mo na tatanggapin. It is always good to study the table of organization, whether it is a tourism-related, hospitality-related, or any other job na meron tayo. Lagi natin tandaan na there are always job opportunities for everyone. Maaring ngayon ito ay hindi para sa'yo, okay? At maaari namang ito ay mapunta sa'yo balang araw. Because somehow we persevere as an employee. We persevere as a human. Kung ano ba yung makukuha natin kapag nagtrabaho tayo. Ano ba yung goal natin pag nagtrabaho tayo? Okay? Magiging ano ba ako? Presidente ba ako? Magiging secretary ba ako? Magiging well-known ba ako sa isang kumpanya na ito? Okay? So, walang walang forever. Walang forever. Hindi mo pwedeng sabihin na pag-graduate ko, ito yung magiging position ko forever. No. Ito yung magiging trabaho ko forever. No. There will be a chance na, yes, makukuha ko siya, but at the end of the day, at the end of the years, okay, maaaring mag-iba yung magiging position ko sa buhay. There are also numerous ways to get employed in tourism and hospitality industry. Unang-una, yung pinag-usapan natin kanina. Okay, yung practicum training natin. Why? Because there is always the working conditions. Minsan yung mga employer, kinukuha na nila yung mga practicum nila na the best of the best. Why? Because nakitaan kayo ng potential. Okay? Always remember that companies has what we call diverse position. We have a lot of vacancies when it comes to work. So, malami. So, sinasabi nga natin, di ba, in a global perspective, tourism and hospitality has the largest, okay, mas malaki ang kanilang employability rates. So, mas maraming trabaho sa tourism and hospitality. Maraming pagkain, maraming turista, at maraming nagta-travel. And what we are doing is we are a big support, especially yung college natin. You as a student in tourism and hospitality is a great factor para sa ating economic development. So napaka-versatile natin, napaka-multitask natin. Okay? Parang pag nasa tourism hospitality industry ka, ikaw ay nasa jack of all trades and you know to work well in that industry. So, marami tayong trabaho. At ito rin ang isa sa mga iisipin natin, no? That employers hire fresh graduates as well. Okay? Bakit? Sa tingin nyo bakit? Mas marami ngayong employer ang nag-hire ng fresh graduates. Why? Because mas gusto nilang alagaan yung mga fresh graduates. Mas goal-oriented sila. Okay? At mas nakukuha nila yung mga loyalty na tinatawag at napapamahal sila dun sa company values and compliance. Because they are willing to learn to the development challenges ng company na gusto nilang pasukan. Okay? And yung employability rate natin as a new graduates, okay? Or a new employee, okay? Para dun sa establishment na yon. Because nandun ka, pinagbutihan mo, nandun ka, dahil bago ka lang at gusto mong matuto mas gusto ng kumpanya na i-hire yung mga bago kesa sa yung may mga experience na. Bakit? Kasi, what? Tanggapin natin ang katotohanan, may mga sungay na yan. Alam na nila yan. Okay? Hindi mo na sila maiisahan dyan. At tayo naman, as bagong empleyado, we want to make sure na, uy, gusto kong matutunan yan. Gusto ko yung totoong industriya. And I am willing to sacrifice everything to learn for that skills, for that development, to be employed by the employers. Nako ha? So, ito po yung totoo sa industriya. It doesn't mean na, okay, ikaw ay experienced people na i-hire ka niya. Oo, mas mataas ang iyong capacity to be hired because you are fully equipped. Pero, mas tinitingnan pa rin ng mga employers ang mga new graduates na magtatrabaho because they want a fresh mind and they want a full people na magtataguyod ng mga ginagawa nilang polisiya at susunod sa mga policies and instructions and rules ng company. So, tandaan natin, mas tinitingnan pa rin ng mga employer ang values, ang attitude at behavior ng mga employees. At nakukuha nila yon sa mga new employees, sa mga bago, sa mga new graduates na magtatrabaho. And that's it. Okay, so that's it. That's the whole lesson about this one, about the factors affecting the development of personality. So, lagi natin tandaan na it doesn't mean na you are newly graduates or you are newly hired, okay, magiging echopero ka na. Kasi why? Madedevelop pa yan. Okay? Madedevelop pa yan. Madedevelop pa natin yan. And we tend to, okay? We tend to be, okay? We tend to be a good follower for the employers. Okay? So, tandaan natin to. Tandaan natin yung politics. So, meron talagang politics sa mga kumpanya. And that's how we develop our personality inside the company. So, laging may politics. Okay? At yung mga expectations. So, tandaan natin yung mga expectations na yan. Ano yung expectations na yan? 1, possesses basic competencies. 2, you instill the harmony and teamwork. Okay? 3, expected to contribute towards the achievement of the company. 4, you should master quickly the services consistently. 5, loyalty. So, hinahanap yan ng bawat kumpanya. 6 is the values of the company. So, iminamatch yan. So, you are a match to the values of the company. So, that's why you are hired. 7 is you have to be obedient and compliant. 8, you have to learn fast. So, ayun siya. 9, expected, of course, to demonstrate the ability and adapt the changes and the trends. And of course, number 10, lastly, should be able to level up quickly. Naku ha? So, ito ang isa sa mga kailangan. Okay? Isa sa yung mga factors that affects personality development. And again, thank you so much and see you on our next lesson.